What is up, fam? Gonna try this again. Okay, this looks better this time. I don't know if you guys just jumped on the previous one, but it kind of really messed with my screen, so I've got no idea why it did that. I haven't had a chance to share this one, so we're going to just sort of chill and wait for a few people to join, because it's a beautiful day here in Mexico City. So I'm going to wait for a few people to join. Yeah, there was a few tech problems. I don't know why my phone was doing weird stuff. Unfortunately, it was. And when I started horizontally, but I think people were seeing me vertically. No, I started vertically, but people were watching me horizontally, and all the comments were coming up like down, so I couldn't really read them properly. So I didn't really want to carry on with the stream doing that. But it sent me straight live this time. So even though I set it for a little later, so there's some gremlins in the system today. So we're just going to chill and wait for a few people to join. Hopefully YouTube's sending out a few notifications and stuff like that. There is quite a lot to talk about, and I don't want to get started too quickly. So if you're in the chat, let me know you're there, because I'm going live straight from the phone. I'm not using any software or anything like that. So let me know if you're watching, and let me know where you're watching from. That'd be awesome. And get some questions ready as well, guys, because there's always lots to talk about in DeFi and crypto. So definitely get your questions ready. Drop a hello in the chat. I'd love to see you guys, and also share the chat if you want to as well, just to let people know we're live, because we've had a few issues this morning with technical problems. So the last time I went live, it's sort of had a fair decent amount of views since going live. The good thing about YouTube is that, you know, if you do a live, if people miss it, then they could always watch a little bit later on, which is great. And but I did set it as unlisted, which was like, that was totally my fault. So it's been a while since I've done live streams from the phone. So you know, we're just going to chill for a little bit and let people know we're coming. I wonder if I can share this while I'm doing this. I'm just going to have a little look here if I can share a copy of the link. What's that quick share button? If that's going to work. So let's try this. Quick share to audiences on. We'll create a post. That we've got some people joining anyway. That's great. And I normally manage to put a little bit of a note on Telegram and X that I'm going live, but unfortunately this time it's taken me live straight away. So we're just letting a few more people join. But definitely leave in the comments if you're watching, where you're watching from, and get some questions ready, guys. I'm still trying to find a way of sharing this without ending the live stream. So if you want to help me out doing that, that'd be great. I want to share it on Telegram. So here we go. So I've sent a few things out. So Boss Jamboree, hi, nice to see you, brother. Can you let me know if my audio's okay? That'd be awesome. Should be okay. I'm in a pretty quiet park. You can see it's a beautiful day here in Mexico City, and it's a nice place to sort of sit and do a live stream. But I'm definitely going to get a bit more regular on these live streams. I've been working on having like a decent setup on the computer, so I can start sharing the screen and doing some live streams from back at the apartment as well. So that's going to be a great thing to do. I'm going to be able to have some guests on there and stuff. We're going to have some really great conversations on there. So I'm going to be trying to do them once or twice a week. So I can see there's more people in the chat as well. Remember to jump in and say hi. I like to give people a little opportunity to get involved and jump in before we start talking about stuff. I did have a couple of comments before I had to cancel the last live stream about BITNEST. So I think that's something that's on a lot of people's minds at the moment, like what's going on with BITNEST. It's an absolute headache, if I'm honest. And I've got my own opinions on it all. Now I know a lot of people have done really well out of BITNEST, and that's great. I've done well out of it as well. It's paying out for a long time, but yeah, there's a ton of red flags for me right now. So I'm going to be getting onto them in this live stream, and I'm going to be taking questions on that as well. I know a lot of people have gone quiet on it all. I don't think that's right. I think we should all be sharing our honest opinions with it. Boss Jamboree, thank you. Yes, audio is clean. That's awesome. That's great to hear. I am not using anything fancy for these live streams. I've got a bit of a nicer setup back at the ranch, but this, I'm just using the wired headphones, and that's for actually good reason. Actually, I don't use the earbuds and stuff like that. I'm not trying to put the willies up anyone, but there's a reason why a lot of people are switching back to these, like these wired headphones, and they have to communicate with each other and they have to go through your brain. So things could be getting cooked up a little bit in there if you're using those. Again, you know, I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me on that sort of stuff, but I don't use anything wireless on my head or in my brain. So have a look into it. If you've not heard of that, have a look into it. But it's good to know that these good old-fashioned wired headphones are doing the job. And again, guys, there's more people joining, which is great, which is awesome. So please leave some questions in. I'm going to be getting to every single comment in here, as long as it's sensible, as long as it's about crypto and DeFi. I'll answer other stuff about, you know, if you want to know a bit about life in Mexico and stuff like that, then yeah, leave that in there as well. But you know, this is technically a crypto and DeFi chat. More and more people joining. Guys, don't be strangers. Say hello. Get a question lined up. I don't like to jump straight in with the meat and potatoes on these streams, because you know, I like a few more people to join first. So I've been trying to share the the stream from here without losing too much connection, but you know, it's one of those things, man. I'm going to get everything sorted out for next time. And also, I did a test run on live from my computer last night, and I'm sitting there in a old t-shirt, you know, just messing around with OBS and, you know, seeing if everything works. I've got a nice overlay, it looks really great. And I did a test stream, and it was meant to be a test stream and it wasn't meant to be live. I'm going to go for a little walk, actually. It's beautiful weather out here, and I don't want to get scorched up too much here. But so yeah, so I went for a temporary, like a test live, and I'm sort of sitting there and messing around with the settings and stuff like that, and I didn't have a proper mic plugged in or anything like that. And next thing I know, I'm getting some questions come through and some comments saying, "Oh, the setup looks amazing, looks really great." And I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm actually live. I've actually gone live here in a like basically like an old pajama top," which was, you know. Anyway, so luckily I wasn't like nude or anything, but yeah, maybe I'd have got more viewers, and I should have just stayed live if that was the case. But yeah, anyway, OBS didn't quite match up with YouTube, and it actually sent me live. So anyway, I did get some ton of questions coming through, and I did have to stop the live because I didn't have anything plugged in to answer properly and all that. So, you know, I didn't continue it. But next time it's going to look awesome, and I'm going to have a microphone in. I'm not going to be like semi-naked or anything like that. It's going to look amazing. So stay tuned for those. I'm going to give a bit more notice on those, and also having guests on there as well. My agent actually tells me I'm going to be going live with Peter the Arborist on Thursday, so that'll be awesome. It's going to be around lunchtime, so hopefully some of you guys can join us for that. Oh, check out, look, I've got some comments coming in. YouTube's doing its job. It's letting people know that I'm live. We've got Blue Chip Drip in the house. Thank you, brother, for joining. We've got Westside Ian. We've got Brett Prince. Oh, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day here in Mexico City. You can see it's really lovely and sunny, and I've just actually come out of the gym, so I've got my electrolyte drinks here. Couldn't find any coconut water today, and just come straight out before I get the stream done nice and early, and see how people like the slightly earlier stream. I love doing them early personally. The sun's really coming up now, sort of must be about 11, half 11 here at the moment. And it's a great place to sort of talk about some crypto and DeFi. So if you guys got any questions, or if there are any platforms you want me to look at in some videos and stuff like that, leave them in the chat, and we can. Yeah, I want these ones to be like hangouts and stuff like that. So we can talk about all kinds of stuff here. I've got a few things I'm going to be covering in this one, so it's not totally off the dome. Well, it is off the dome, but I know a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about. But the ones from on the computer, we're going to have special guests on. We're going to be really you know, chewing the fat over there. So we've got salute, brother, Westside Ian. It's great to have you in here, bro. Really good. I hope you're doing well. And us guys at the Crypto Collective need a need a good catch up soon, because a lot's happening obviously in crypto and DeFi, but also in our personal lives. You know, I've moved country and stuff like that since, and it's been lots going on. But it's been good to be getting back into the videos now and lives. Blue Chip Drip, everything's good, dude. I'm glad, man. I'm glad everything sounds good. And I know you're super busy as well. You've got some protocols that you're involved in at the moment, which I haven't looked into yet, but I'm always open to looking into some sort of passive income plays and stuff like that. So if you want to chat about anything like that, let's do it. But yeah, I think I'd like to actually get you on a stream, Chip, maybe next week, and we can sort of chat live. I know there's tons of stuff to talk about. I'd love to do that. We've got, let me just check, I've got this really sunny here. We've got K-Boz. Hello, bro. I hope you're good. Thanks for joining us on the stream. Sorry, man, I've got low glycogen because I've just been smashing out some heavy weights in a really good gym not far from our apartment, and it's like $6 a week to train unlimited. And it's like 2 floors of, it's like a kid in a candy shop in there, man. It really is freaking awesome. But my glycogen's a little bit low, so I'm just topping up on my electrolytes before my brain goes flat. But it's great to have you on here. We've got Brett Prince. What time Thursday? Your central time? Yeah, I think we're central time here, so it actually makes it way easier being in Mexico City for me, because obviously in the UK I had to turn down a fair few opportunities to get on live streams with other people. I was invited on to quite a few live streams, and just because of the time difference was so brutal, I didn't really, I wasn't really able to join people on that. And obviously having a toddler and stuff like that makes things hard. But since being here, it's been awesome. It's been amazing. So I've just had a message from Mrs. Millionz, actually. They're watching live from back at the Casa del Millionz, the real Casa del Millionz in Mexico City. I can actually call it officially that now. So that's really awesome. We all moved in now. We moved into our new apartment on Sunday, so we've only been there for around a week. And obviously, you know what it's like when you move in somewhere new. You have to buy stuff, and it was fully furnished and everything, so we didn't have to ship any furniture or anything bulky over from the UK, which is obviously really handy. But everything's laid out. It's really modern. It's great. But we've had to buy stuff. They're such a third world country here in Mexico. There's an IKEA not far away, and there's like massive malls and stuff. It's really third world. And you can see here by loads of cafes everywhere and restaurants everywhere. It's just so dangerous here, walking around these mean streets with my phone out, which I couldn't probably do this in London, by the way, this type of video, because all you'd see is an electric bike go past with some degenerate on an electric bike with a balaclava, and my phone would go off, and the stream would be from his electric bike, and the phone would end up somewhere abroad, most likely, in parts, because phone snatching is a really big problem in the UK. But here in dangerous Mexico, I can walk around the streets with my phone out, talking to you guys, talking about all kinds of stuff, crypto and DeFi, and no one's trying to grab my phone. Wouldn't it be ironic if someone went past and grabbed my phone right now? I'd look like such a muppet live on YouTube. But anyway, getting back to the question, I get sidetracked sometimes. We've got Brett Prince. What time Thursday? Yeah, so it's going to be with Pete the Arborist, and it's going to be around sort of lunchtime. I think we haven't set the official time yet, but I think it's about noon, about 12 o'clock noon, which I think will be the same time for you. So hopefully you guys can join us on that, because we're going to have tons to talk about on there. And by the way, guys, I can see loads of people are watching, but oh, actually, you know what I was going to say, a couple of likes have just gone on there. If you're watching it, and you're hanging out with me here, give it a like. It helps with the algorithm, helps push this out a little bit. I haven't had time to really push this stream out at all. I did try and go live about 15-20 minutes ago, and I had some gremlins in the phone, and it was streaming the wrong way round. All the comments were coming through, the wrong way around. I couldn't read anything, so I had to restart the stream and cancel all the links that I'd sent out, which is a real shame. So hopefully YouTube is starting to send out the link. But if you can help me out by giving it a thumbs up, it always helps with the algorithm. And hopefully more people can join. But there's already some people watching, so that's awesome. So yeah, it's going to be around 12 noon, and it's going to be like a crypto lunchtime talk. There's talks we might have another guest on as well, another interesting guest. And Peter and I are probably going to do a few more like regular streams as well, because we're on the same timeline now. And I mentioned to Chip, hopefully we can get you on for a live stream as well, because you've got tons of stuff that I'm sure you want to talk about. And yeah, we're in some of the same stuff, so it's going to be great to have you on there if you're up for that. And I know you're not a stranger for live streams and stuff, so let's definitely do it, man. We're due a catch up. We got Crypto Pride, check your DM. I will do that, mate. Thank you for joining as well. I will check the DM. I don't want to do it right now because I'm after what happened earlier with the gremlins in the phone. I don't want to come out here and lose everyone. So, Boss Jamboree, I don't have your Telegram channel. Okay, so the Telegram channel is. I'm going to leave that in the comments after this stream, because I've had a few people ask about that, so I think I need to make that a bit more public. But if you want to hit me up on the personal one, it's at True Millionz, the same as my YouTube handle. But if you want to get on the channel, I'm going to leave all the links down below, so we can connect on there, and hopefully you guys can see some of the notifications on the streams and stuff. But yeah, so absolutely beautiful day here in Dangerous Mexico. We're going to get on to a little bit about something that's on everyone's lips right now. I'm just going to sit down just for a second, get in the shade just a touch, because I've had a lot of sunshine this morning, and the dome's getting a little bit toasty, so I'll put my hat back on. But I know a lot of people are thinking and talking about the whole BITNEST saga, and yeah, it's a lot of people have done really well with BITNEST, and I did very well with BITNEST, and it's one of those things I was hoping was going to last a little bit longer. And look, I'm not fudding here. I've said before in posts on X and stuff like that, at True Millionz. If you're not following me on X, come over there and join me up there. But we've done really well with it, and it's still running. But the thing is with it, I'm not putting any more money into it, and the reason being is that once a protocol doesn't follow through with what it agrees with, and it moves the goalpost, that's a major red flag for me. They owe me about $3,000. Whether I'll ever see that $3,000 again, I don't know. And obviously, I was on house money very early. I told you guys that. I made no secret of that whatsoever, that I was going in, 1 month with a larger sum, pulling out the profit and just playing with the profit. It kind of makes you a little bit unruggable. LCM's in the house. How you doing? Great to have you in the stream, bro. I hope you and Tony are doing well. Thank you for joining. So it's one of those situations where, a little bit unruggable. I've had another comment about BITNEST there. Yeah, I'm just on that right now. We're just talking about BITNEST right now. And they've got the Loop C running right now, which is the USDC loops. And the whole node situation, I'm not getting involved in any of it. So I'm not telling you not to. And I know some people are doing the Loop C and they're getting the loops coming back with no problems and everything like that. And I hope that continues. I really do. Because I want everyone to win in this space, 100%. But I'm not reinvesting, especially if I don't get that 3K back, because that's a major letdown for me. Once you've the whole, it's automated and you can't stop these things, but now they're saying, oh, you get paid quicker if you invest in a node, or if you'll get paid quicker if you invest in the Loop C. To me, that's major red flags. That sounds like it could be. I'm not saying it is, but I've seen stuff happen in the past where they do liquidity grabs as things are going down the toilet. As the ship is sinking, the rats are taking as much as they possibly can. And again, I'm not saying that is the case. Don't get me twisted here. If they come back on the 16th of March, or whenever they said they're going to pay back, and I'll get all my money back, I will be the first person to do a video and say, I was wrong. I don't mind admitting if I'm wrong. I have no problem with doing that. And I will say, they paid everything back, and it obviously was a legit problem they had with the matching and the contracts and everything. And maybe I'll consider putting a little bit of that back in. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But certainly now, all the time that I've got loops outstanding, that ain't going to happen. And I'm not going to recommend that anyone does that. You guys, you're all grown-ups, you know, I ain't your daddy. You guys do what the hell you like. But I'm certainly not doing it, and I'm making that very, very public. I'm not shying away from the topic either. Some people, it's like a really dirty word, and I totally understand why. You know, I've been stung a bit in there as well, so I'm happy to talk about it, absolutely. And I'll tell you that I ain't putting another penny in, especially if I don't get that original, those loops back. But anyway, as I said before, it was house money from the beginning, so you know, I ain't too salty about it. But if people ask me questions about it, sure, I'll talk about it. So we got Blue Chip Drip, love to. Yes, man, I would love to have you on, bro. We can do one on mine, we can do one on yours, we can do a group one with a few people. Always stuff to talk about, and it's quite funny actually, because like Peter gives me a call sometimes. Peter the Arborist, he's a great guy. He's got the tree token going at the moment. I don't know if he's going to be able to join us in here at the moment. He might be a bit busy at this time. But we often have our sort of little bro chats over on Signal, and he catches me up. You know, when you got a toddler and stuff, you know, Millionz is 2.5 years old now, and here in Mexico we obviously do tons of family stuff, and it's great. But if you take a day off DeFi, it's like taking like a year off being like in any other sector. Like, it's crazy how much you can miss in like one day. And there's been so much stuff going on with Blue Protocol, GBLUE and stuff like that. I mean, GBLUE is holding up really strong against ETH right now, so that's been a real blessing. The market's been real stagnant lately. I think Bitcoin's around 89k, which I suppose if you'd have said that 2 years ago, you'd have been really happy with that. So I'm not trying to say it's all bad, but obviously being up at 120 before you know, things cool off a little bit, it does seem like everything's in the gutter, but the altcoins definitely are in the gutter still. So but you know, if you've got your positions, you've got your long-term conviction plays in, I'm sure you're not panicking too much. And with stuff like GBLUE and Blue Protocol, it's lovely to sort of have there's some really noisy dogs around here. They love their dogs in Mexico, and that's one thing I've got to say is that I'm really missing at the moment is Mr. Wookums. So I'll get onto that a little bit in a minute about, you know, what might be happening there. But he's with my mother and father-in-law at the moment, so he's in good hands. It's his second home, so he's more than happy there, I'm sure. But probably get a ton of peace and quiet. But yeah, I'll get onto that in a little bit. But yeah, with Blue Protocol, printing not only like the 1% per day in Blue Protocol, but also I've paired literally all of mine up into GBLUE in the ETH GBLUE pool over on Arborium, and that's a real printer over there. And the good thing about that is I'm sort of double compounding rewards there, because I'm earning the daily rebases on the GBLUE token still, even though it's paired up with ETH on Arborium. So I'm getting all the benefits from that, but also it's earning ABX token as well, because you know, it's earning yield on that. So the ABX token, I've got like a long-term bullish outlook on that as well. That's been performing really well. So I'm earning ABX rewards. So shout out to Aaron, really, he's really turned Blue Protocol around massively and given it some incredible utility for DeFi. And you've got full control over your funds as well. You know, no more locking. I'm really kind of veering away from doing stuff where I've got to lock funds up. So you know, we had the issue with Privilege Club as well, which was really gutting for a lot of people. And that was another one I think a lot of people thought was going to go a lot longer. Probably was the last one I thought was going to go under out of all of the ones. But you know, DeFi is risky, crypto's risky inherently, and I definitely wouldn't put, you know, all life savings into one protocol like that. You know, I know some people got stung, but most people did really well out of it. So, which is great. But again, with locked up funds, I don't know, man. I'm just veering away from it. So with stuff like Blue Protocol and what I'll get onto in a minute with like SUIDEX and stuff like that, shout out to Richie for bringing that platform, is that we can become the bank, you know, and that is really the direction that I'm personally going into, where, you know, that's the whole point of DeFi, guys. We have to remember that we're meant to become our own banks. Banks are meant to be irrelevant by now. It's 2026. There shouldn't be any relevancy in banks. They're zombies. They just, you know, I can't believe it's 2026 and people still aren't really using Bitcoin as a currency. It's a real shame, because that's why I got into crypto in the first place, was the whole sovereign finance thing, and was to, you know, to really put the final nail in the coffin for these banks and middlemen. And a lot of people in crypto and DeFi, I think, now haven't even read the Bitcoin white paper. So guys, be honest. I want you to be honest. Don't BS me. Seriously, no judgment, but have you read the Bitcoin white paper? It's like 9 pages. Come on, you can sit on the toilet and read it. You know, that's where I read it, sitting on the toilet. Too much information there. But it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to read through, and it gives you the entire ethos of crypto. It's meant to be peer-to-peer, decentralized, no middlemen, none of these, like, you know, banks and governments involved and everything. It was meant to be peer-to-peer payment. It failed. It has actually failed, you know. And the whole psyop with Bitcoin is, oh, it's like digital gold. It's a store of value. Nah, bro. That was not the reason for Bitcoin to be a store of value. You're meant to use it. You're meant to spend it. And of course, you know, the problem is that, you know, so many people have sort of asked for regulation, thinking it was going to really, you know, really help the space. But when you see what's going on in countries like the UK, the EU, and eventually in the US, I think you guys have got a little bit of a reprieve at the moment. But all it's done is just open the door for the same people to take over the space again. And it's a real shame, because Bitcoin was meant to be a currency, meant to be used. Read the white paper. You know, don't, you know, in fact, at the end of this stream, when I get back to Casa del Millionz, I'm going to put the link in there so you can read the 9-page white paper, and you tell me if it doesn't inspire you a little bit to really embrace DeFi for what it was meant to be, you know. And that's why, you know, I think more and more people are understanding the importance of stuff like Monero and sort of privacy currencies and stuff that are actually used. Like Monero is one of the only currencies that actually use. There's so many places you can spend it, and there's whole entire economies based around it. That's what was meant to happen with crypto. Now, I know a lot of the stuff we're involved in DeFi isn't private, for example, but it still allows us to become our own bank. And that to me is the most important thing. So we can do what banks do and not get absolutely scammed. You know, when you put money in a bank, for example, the amount of money that they make off of you is hilarious. It's absolutely, truly hilarious. And you get nothing back for it. Because you're, you know, as the customer, people need to get out of the customer mindset and start becoming the bank itself, because that's how the money's made. So if you're going into, you know, into finance, being the customer, you're gonna get taken for a ride. Look at the bank interest rates and stuff like that. It's hilarious. You think that they're just sitting your money in an account? No. The second that money hits the account, not only can they print a ton more out of thin air, but they are investing. They're moving it around. It's fluid. And look, that's a whole nother topic that I'm going to get to. This is a real rabbit hole, but you've got to understand that if you think about all the terminologies we use in finance, liquidity, banks like the river banks, cash flow, it's all based around money. It's water, right? Bail-in, bailout. You know, all of this sort of stuff is based around water. The currency, the current sea, right? It's meant to flow. Your money's meant to flow. So that's why people that stick their money in savings accounts get absolutely destroyed, because what happens to water when it sits stagnant, right? Think about that. So when water sits stagnant, it goes moldy. It's not usable anymore. It's disgusting, and it just loses its value of, you know, you can't bring life with it, right? Well, you can, I suppose, on a microbial level, but that's a whole other thing. But anyway, so water's meant to flow, and that's what our money is meant to do, and that's what DeFi is opening us up to, is becoming the bank. That's what the banks do. They flow the money around, and that's why they're always top of the chain. And they're too big to fail. You know, governments will bail them out, They'll bail them out, bail them in, or whatever you want to term you want to use, and and they will continue that way. It's not going to change. And now they're in crypto, right? People beg them to come into crypto when really what people should have been doing is saying, look, we can become our own banks. We don't need banks anymore. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to create our own economy, and we're going to be financially sovereign. So, as I said before, with DeFi, the stuff that we're in, it's not private, for example, but it enables us to provide the service. So, on an exchange, if we provide the liquidity, we're the guys, we're the bank, right? And we get the returns for doing that. So stuff like with GBLUE and ETH over on Aborian, we are the liquidity providers, right? And that's super important. This is the mindset, I think. And the same with SUIDEX. So we can go onto SUIDEX, we put the capital into the farms, and we receive the victory token in return. And the beautiful thing about that is, there's a really noisy ambulancia going past. I'm just going to wait for that to go past before I continue. Let's just check the chat, shall we? So I've covered that about BITNEST. If you've got any other specific questions about BITNEST, then let me know, and I'll cover that. Blue chip drip, all the DJs in the house. Yes, I mean everyone who's in DeFi and in crypto in general is a little bit of a degen. You have to be. The thing is with the stock market, like people go crazy if there's a 5% move or a 10% move. People, it's like, oh, it's red panty night, But in crypto and DeFi, 10% could be on the hour, could be on, in 1 minute, and it could be up 20%, down 50. You have to be made of different stuff, and you've got to be a little bit of a degen to be in this space for sure. It is a ton of fun, but also, we can get so much from it, as I said before, by, becoming our own bank. So Kev5347, or just call you Kev T. Thanks for joining, brother. Abstract Chain will do a token. Those using Aborian on Abstract, i.e. Blue, will get rewarded in an Abstract token. Earn those XP points. The token airdrop from Abstract will be big when it comes. Now, this is another classic example of you take a couple of days off DeFi and you miss stuff. So I do appreciate that comment, Kev T, because it's given me another thing to look into. I'm actually really bullish on Abstract Chain going forward. It's been performing pretty well during this whole dip, and there's some really great builders on there. So I'll use Aaron as the example. Aaron GBLUE, he's really building, and I like transparency. There's a great community building over there, so I'm sure he's not the only one. I'm sure there's lots of other good builders over there as well. So that's great to hear that there's going to be a token airdrop. I think it said airdrop, didn't it? Yeah, airdrop from Abstract. Okay. That's cool, man, because, I've got a decent position over there. So hopefully that'll be a nice little airdrop for me coming. So bring that on. But, I was talking a little bit about, GBLUE and stuff like that. And what I don't know if I've mentioned it here on a live before, but not only are you getting, I went through the rebasing, you're getting the 1% a day on the GBLUE token. But also, you've got the ETH and GBLUE pairing, so you're earning the ABX from that. But not only that, there's more. Oh, there's more. It doesn't stop there. This is why I go on about it so much, right? That you can do the voting. And if you guys are familiar with like SwapX, those guys are building something new, by the way. Keep your ears out for that. I don't know 100% what it is yet. I haven't had any insider information on that, but there's something new coming from them guys. So there's some legit builders for sure. So shout out to SwapX. I know things haven't worked out on Sonic Chain, which is a shame. It's not their fault. SwapX is still operating. I'm still, doing the voting every week, and I'm making a little bit of cash from the voting and stuff like that. So it's all still working for sure, but. If you're familiar with SwapX, which I know a lot of you guys are, then you can do the voting on Aborian every epoch, which I think is every Wednesday. It reminds me I have to do my voting actually. You can lock some of your ABX tokens. So if you've got your GBLUE ETH pair, you're earning the ABX in the farms It's great. You can do whatever you want with those earnings. I tend to split my earnings up a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll take, let's say, between 10 and 25%, and I will lock it straight into well, basically you can lock ABX token, right? So that's what I'm about to tell you about. Then I'll take a portion of what's left as USDC, so I'll just swap it straight on Iborian for USDC, and I'll take the final percentage, I'll convert it back into wrapped ETH, or ETH, I can't remember which, and I could just go straight onto the GBLUE site and zap that straight back into my pair. So it's growing the position, I'm taking some profit, and I'm locking up some ABX. Now, why would I lock up ABX, you might be asking? It ain't for charity. You know, I'm a nice guy, but I ain't doing it for charity. So, one, it does help the ecosystem. So, I like doing that. I like to help the ecosystem, absolutely. But also, you get voting rights. So, if you've got some of these locks, you can merge them so you haven't got loads of different ones. But let's say you've got a nice lock of ABX token, then you can vote on your pools and get your, you know, your incentives and stuff like that. So I always vote on the GBLUE wrapped ETH pool, always, because I'm GBLUE, you know, through and through. I'm all for it. I want to push the pool as much as possible. I want the volume up, so obviously it helps with the gains and stuff. So I always put all of my ABX voting into the GBLUE wrapped ETH pool on Iborian, preferably before Wednesday, so you get in on the epoch. So what that does is then you'll find that you're earning again. So I think it's another 120% APR just by voting. So whatever you've got locked up in ABX, you're earning 120 something percent APR on just by voting, just by clicking a couple of buttons. And that's what I love to do. Just click a few buttons, and then after the epoch's over, I can look down the dashboard and there'll be another $7 there, another $5 there, another, you know. So it's a really great place. You can triple stack your gains. So shout out to Aaron. He was on the last stream actually, but because I had a few problems with the stream when I first started today, I did try and go live shortly before this one, and for some reason the screen was all like, I was coming out sideways like this basically, and all the comments were coming down the wrong way, and it's going to be impossible for me to read the comments and all of that. So I started the stream again, but what I did was, like a total moron, as someone called Tate would say, total moron, was I went live straight away without sort of setting it for 5 or 10 minutes. So that was my fault. So I went live without people really knowing much about it, but it's great because we've got tons of people in the chat and I'm getting a few likes as well. Guys, I can see twice as many people in the chat as there are likes. So if you're still with me, give me a like, and I will love you long time. And let me know in the comments if you've liked the stream. And obviously, if you want to share it with other people, please do that. It was a pretty impromptu stream today, but you know, I like to chat with you guys. I like to hang out with you guys. I know it's really sort of informal and stuff, but I have got some really cool stuff coming up with live streaming. So yeah, you might have heard at the start of the video, I did accidentally go live last night on a test. I did a test stream on OBS, but I did accidentally go live, and I was sitting there. Luckily, I wasn't naked, but I got some comments coming in. I was like, why am I getting comments? And people were like, oh, the stream looks really good. The aesthetics look really good, which was obviously a compliment. But I didn't mean to go live, so I had to end it because I didn't have a mic plugged in or anything. But yeah, so if you just sort of caught that, so I've had a few tech issues. But anyway, I'm going to be sorting all of that out. I'm going to be doing some stuff with different guests. I'm going live, I think, with my agent tells me I'm going live with Peter the Arborist on Thursday. So we're going to have a lunchtime chat, and hopefully you guys can join us on that as well. Right, let me just check the chat as well, because I'm trying to stay hot on this chat. Tony Morrow, good to see you. Millionz, thanks for this. Tony Morrow, anytime. It's always great to have you and LCM on the stream. We go way back, so you guys have always supported the channel, so I really do appreciate that, and I hope you're getting a little value from the live stream. And as much as it's super fun hanging out with you guys, I like to give some value as well where I can, and hopefully, and look, you guys share value with me as well. I've already had some stuff in the comments today where I didn't know about, so that's the sort of space that I'm really trying to create. I have got memberships live as well, by the way, guys. If you want to join the memberships, I've got 2 tiers of membership. If you want to support the channel, you can hit the join button below the stream, most likely, and you can join up there. I've got some members only videos planned for next week, and there's going to be a ton of value in those. It's stuff that I can't really talk about really on YouTube too widely, but obviously if I've got a small group of people, it's something I'll consider talking about, and hopefully that'll bring a ton of value. So if you guys want to support the channel, and there's 2 tiers. There's like a supporter channel for a few dollars a month, and then there's a slightly higher one which I offer a bit more on. If you want to support the channel, you don't have to do that, guys. Of course, it's just something that you might want to jump in and do. But either way, I'm going to be continuing doing my usual live streams and usual videos anyway. It's really annoying flies. I think they're after my electrolyte drinks here. And we've got Kev T said, it's just a rumour at the moment, but they will bring out a token, just not yet. Okay, look, I'm a patient guy, so hopefully that will happen. I'm all up for an airdrop, and I'm bullish on the token. So the stuff that I'm farming, by the way, anything that I'm farming is stuff that I have conviction in. I'm not really doing anything like with meme coins or anything. I'm just like, I just can't. I just don't have the time and the want to really be tracking, like making this like a major full-time job, trying to watch the charts every day. Because with meme stuff, they're here today, gone tomorrow, and I know you can do really well out of them. I know you can if you're really dialed in. But I've got a toddler. I've got a pretty active and busy life here in Mexico, and I've got obviously YouTube and everything like that. So I'm really trying not to make chart watching a full-time job. I don't know if any of you guys can sort of vibe with me on that. So most of my holdings and the stuff that I'm farming, I'll be holding anyway. So I want to be earning from that, monetizing my holdings, if that makes sense. And that's definitely the direction I'm going in. And as I've said with GBLUE, there's 3 ways you can earn with GBLUE. But another one that I'm really, really enjoying right now is SUIDEX. And I don't know if Richie's in the chat at all. He might be sometimes. Sometimes he jumps in. But SUIDEX is another way that I can hold tokens that I've got a bit of a conviction in and monetize them. So there is a Bitcoin only pool over there, so I'm not anytime soon selling a large portion of my Bitcoin. And I can put it to work over there in the single pool. So it's not even like, I'm not even pairing it with anything else. There's no impermanent loss. So I've stuck a nice little chunk of Bitcoin over there, and it's earning, I think, well, the volume on everything is down at the moment, right? But it was earning like 90% APR in Victory token. So absolutely crazy. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I might try and show you. If you can see in the background, there's a truck going by with a mattress on top of it. These go all around Mexico City, and they pick up old furniture, and they pick up old fridges and tumble dryers and stuff. And I think they're like private businesses, so they go around and do their thing, and they probably make some money from collecting. Really entrepreneurial stuff out here, guys. Like, it is actually quite inspiring. People always find a way to make money, and there's no one, you don't get, I don't think the residents here and the people that live in Mexico, they don't get much for free out here. So they're always working, they're always grafting and grinding, finding ways to make money. And just being around that is quite inspiring. So that's freaking awesome. Anyway, what was I saying? So we've got the Bitcoin only pool over there, which is incredible because I haven't even got to pair it up with anything. I'm always a little obviously concerned with impermanent loss. If you guys are doing any farming, you'll know what I'm talking about. But with the single pools, there's a slightly higher transaction fee to put it in. I think it's like 3 or 4% to put it in. But if you're keeping it in there long term, and also the same to take it out, but apparently someone told me that that's not going to be even a thing by the time I consider taking the Bitcoin out. So it's 4% to put it in, which, you can take a hit on that. But if you're keeping it in there for a long time, the amount of Victory token you're going to earn off that, you can buy more Bitcoin, and it ain't even going to be a thing, right? So that's what I've been doing as well on Victory, on SUIDEX, is having my farming position. So I've got like a Bitcoin only pool, but I'm also in some of the SUI Victory pools and the SUI and SUI Trump pools and stuff like that. I've got a selection of pools that I'm in, and as I'm earning Victory token, what I'm doing is I'm putting, let's say, about between 10 and 25% of the Victory token in the token locker. Again, not for charity, because you're going to earn more SUI and more Victory by locking up token. It helps the protocol, which I'm always up for doing, as a responsible farmer. But then what I'm doing, I'm selling some of it into USDC, taking some profit, and then with the last chunk, I'm putting it back into the pool. So I'm pumping my own pools, I'm growing my own pools. So it's like a continual money loop. So what's so great about that is you're helping the protocol and getting rewarded for it. You're taking profit in USDC or whatever, so you've got some money in the back pocket, and you're building your own position, so you're constantly farming more and more. So for me, that's my strategy right now. I know there's tons of different strategies you can use for farming, but I'm finding that to be really effective. And yeah, SUIDEX is amazing, guys. SUIDEX is really, really cool, so I definitely urge you to check that out. Once I've done the live and I've finished, I'll put the links in the description so you guys can you know where you're going and stuff. So, but I'd never messed with SUI really before that. And Peter's token, the tree token, was my first entry into SUIDEX, and I'm actually farming that as well on SUIDEX. So there's a position over there. And I want to give Peter a shout out because he's been working really hard as well to get the NF trees going on the tree token. So I'm definitely going to be helping him market and promote them because he's a good pal of mine as well. And I'm happy to promote projects of people that I know, that I've got conviction in. I know that are honest. I know they're not going to rug, and the best intentions are behind it. So he's done a great job with the tree token, and there's a ton of utility for that as well. So I definitely going to be helping promote the SUI NF trees. There's going to be some utility for them as well. So shout out to Peter. I don't think he's in the stream because he's normally really vocal if he is, and so he'll probably catch it on the flip side. Anyway, what we got? So we've got Boss Jamboree. So nice, thanks for the information. You're more than welcome, and it goes both ways. Thank you for joining on the stream. It really does mean a lot. My channel's, I still consider it small, growing. I think I've got 2,600 subscribers, which in the scheme of YouTube is still pretty small. But now I've got more opportunity to be doing more live streams and hopefully giving some more value. We can help. We can start growing the channel a bit more. So thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot, and everyone in the stream right now, a massive shout out. I really do appreciate it. We got DJ Mike Spinks. I've liked it, bud. Thank you, bro. Again, that really does mean a lot. And if you guys are watching this for the first time and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please give me a follow. I will love you a long time if you do. You know that from the heart. And also thanks to everyone who's liking the stream as well, because it really does help the algorithm. YouTube, it kind of it does focus a lot on if people are contributing to the stream, if people are liking and commenting. So all of these really help, and it will help not only now but obviously after the stream's finished. And again, hopefully people can get some value from that. Let's just check through some of the other stuff. We've got JJ's given a wave, massive wave back to you, JJ. It's great to have you in the stream. And we've got Blue Chip Drip, BG Wealth. Yeah, so I've heard about BG Wealth. I haven't really looked into it too much yet. I know you've done a couple of videos on it, Chip. So later on, when little man's asleep, I'll probably jump over and have a little look into that. And I want to do a spontaneous live Bartertown style. Yeah, I'm always up for that. I'm always up for that sort of thing. So yeah, if you want to, I mean, obviously I'm happy to jump in on your stream or whatever. If you're ever up for doing that, I've got a lot more flexibility while I'm out here in Mexico. So let me know if you want a guest on there. I'm happy to jump in and we can chew the fat over there. Bartertown always does come through with some good stuff as well. I think we're on the same page with a lot of stuff in terms of like the importance of privacy and stuff like that. I know he's done some content on that, so Shout out to Bartertown. I know he sometimes gives me a comment here and there. And Brett Prince says, are you going to test the SUIDEX games? Yeah, I am going to test them for sure. So I want to sort of help support SUIDEX however I can, because I think it's an awesome protocol, and I think it's doing a great thing for DeFi. And I'm all for supporting legitimate protocols with legitimate devs, legitimate teams, transparency. So I definitely will be testing them out. I haven't looked into them massively yet, but I have heard that what's on the horizon for that. So yes, I will be probably doing, I might even do that live, maybe. So if I can. There's a few things I want to do live actually. I'm really enjoying the live experience, and I feel like a lot of people on that same page now. I'm kind of sick of the way things have gone just generally, like everyone's always searching for perfection all the time. And people waste so much of their life trying to look for perfection, you know? If you want to start something, embrace the imperfection. And everything should just be learning all the time, you know, learn from feedback. You know, if you guys think my stream is great, I'm sure you'll tell me in the stream. If you think it sucks, you can tell me in the stream as well. You know, I'm a big guy. I can take the criticism, but that's how we should be learning. You know, get started on something. Just freaking start, man. I don't know. I was in the same boat for years, and I just used to always be looking for perfection all the time. And that's what I like about live streams is you can't do that. You can't hide behind editing and video editing and stuff like that. You know, if I mess up my words on this stream, then everyone hears it. You know, if I say the wrong thing, everyone hears it. But I just don't care. I really don't care. And that's not in a disrespectful way to my audience or anything, because I'm, you know, I don't care how I present myself. Of course I do, but if I get something wrong, I'm just not bothered anymore, because I can learn from that. And the more you do stuff, the better you get at it anyway. So if you guys take one thing from this stream, if you're waiting for perfection on something, if you're waiting to apply for a job, or you're waiting to send an email, or waiting to text a girl or a boy or whatever to ask them out on a day, whatever you're waiting to do, just do it today, right now. It's a great day. It's a perfect day to get started. And who cares if you fail? Who actually cares? I mean, like, if no one views this stream, if I'm just talking to myself for an hour, who cares? I don't care, and neither should you. So just if you take one thing from today's stream, hopefully you got some value, you know, about a bit of information about some of the stuff I've been chatting about. But just stop standing on the sidelines and get started today, guys. It's a beautiful day. You know, nothing's guaranteed in life, and ultimately you just let go of the care, let go of the fear of judgment, and if you're waiting to do something, just take a leap and do that. So we've got a few more. We've got Westside Ian, thank you, brother. Joined up on the Millionz supporter on the channel. I really do appreciate that, bro. It means a lot. You know, with the tutorials and stuff like that, you know, you guys know I love making tutorials and doing walk and talks and stuff like that. But yeah, they do take a long time, and it's a lot of effort goes into them, and I really do appreciate the support on the channel. Just by, it doesn't matter whether you join or not. I don't expect people to do that, but just by joining me on the live, hanging out with me here, liking and commenting, it really does mean a lot. But thank you, Westside. It means a lot, bro. It really does, and I'm looking forward to a proper catch up with you soon. That's going to be awesome. And there's a few other guys I haven't chatted to for a while. Crypto Tiger, we got Nelly, we got Speaker Freaker, a few guys from the Crypto Collective. I'd love to have a sort of a chat with you guys soon, because it's been too long, and everyone's got tons of stuff going on with family and stuff, and with work and jobs and stuff. Days and weeks go by real quick, for sure. But we're definitely due a catch up. And that's another thing, by the way, guys, is that my little man's 2.5 years old now, and a lot of people say time really flies, and I really don't feel it has done. I feel like it's been a really long 2.5 years, like really long. it feels like it could have been 4 years. And I think the reason for that is, you know, me, Mrs. Millionz and stuff, we've tried to break the ruts as much as possible with travel and doing cool stuff, and not letting, you know, I'm bringing Millionz along for the ride. So this is his, like, already his second time in Mexico, and we've traveled as much as we can with him so far, and it really extends time. It feels like time goes longer when you're doing interesting stuff. And that's why I was saying earlier about, you know, if you're waiting to do something, just do it, because it seems as though time goes really quickly when you're doing the same thing every day, when you're stuck in a rut. And I've definitely found that in periods of my life where time just goes so quickly, you know, and all of a sudden it's like a year's gone by and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, it's Christmas again. And then when I look back, it's like they've been the most dull years of my life, where nothing that interesting's happened. But the years where there's tons of travel and there's lots of risks being taken, and there's loads of interesting stuff going on, those time just seems to extend, right? And a lot of people have said the same thing. So, you know, when you sort of move, like for example, moving abroad and stuff like that, it feels like we've been here for months and months. It really has only been 6 weeks. So I think the brain has to readapt to new circumstances and new things going on, and you get out of this, I think they call it hypnotic rhythm, which I think is so common in day-to-day life. And everyone's done it, and I've done it. I've been in a hypnotic rhythm many times, where you just sort of go through the motions and you don't take any chances and risks and don't do new things. So yeah, I would just urge people to, you know, if you feel like you're in that situation, jump out of it and do something fun, do something crazy. And Westside's dropped in the custom emojis. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. I had a lot of fun creating those custom emojis. So basically, as part of the membership, if you guys, if you do want to join up or whatever, everyone gets custom emojis. So you can see there, it's really small on my screen right now. It's the long time. I love you long time custom emoji, and you also get a custom badge as well. It, you know, depending on how long you join for, it changes and it morphs into something more and more kind of cool. So yeah, so everyone who's joined up so far, I really do appreciate the support, guys. You know, I really do. It means a lot, and all I can hope is that I can bring you as much value as possible. And as members, I'm going to be doing some members only stuff as well. As I said before, there is definitely some cool stuff coming for members only, but don't worry if you're not a member, there's still going to be plenty of live streams and plenty of content as per usual, and hopefully more so now. Now I'm out in Mexico City, I've got a bit more time and some cool places to come on these impromptu streams as well. So I'm definitely enjoying it, but I do have a really nice setup that I'm building on OBS, so I can do some stuff back at the ranch. We can share info on there, we can hang out together, I can show you some screen shares and stuff, and we can all get involved, and it's going to be tons of fun. So we've got a few more comments. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon, guys, because Millionz is going to be going to bed soon. I always like to be there to get him down for his siesta. We're approaching the hour mark, so it's been loads of fun. But Westlife said, bro, much respect. No, same back to you, bro. Honestly, we go way back, and I always appreciate the support as a friend on the videos and stuff like that. So thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. And busy life, don't blink, for sure. Yeah, so the busier stuff gets, if it's busy and it's not interesting, it's busy and monotonous, it really does speed time up. But if it's busy outside the comfort zone, then I think it will lengthen time. So definitely everyone try that. And we've just had, I'm going to do one more last comment, I think. At the bottom, JJ said, it looks as though it's a comment about Mr. Wookums, and how can I forget Mr. Wookums? So as you know, or as you may or may not know, Mr. Wookums is currently still in the UK. So he's with a family. He's at his second home with my mother and father-in-law. So he's got his own room there. He's like basically the prince of the castle there. So he's getting tons of peace and quiet. He's not getting bothered by Millionz. He's not getting, you know, anything like that. So he's fine. He's absolutely fine. But we are thinking at the moment about whether we're going to get him out here. Now, I'm just going to cover this before we finish up, because Mr. Wookums, although he looks like a puppy, he's actually getting on a little bit. I think, is he 11 or is he 12 now? 11 or 12. Anyway, Jack Russells are kind of forever young, but I do still want to consider he's not a young dog. So I don't want to put him under any stress if I don't have to. But I found out actually that KLM, the airline KLM, Dutch Airlines, which is a pretty good airline. We've flown with them. We flew with them to Peru actually, and they were really good. They allow dogs in the cabin of Mr. Wookums' size. Mr. Wookums is considered a small dog. He doesn't believe so. He thinks he's like a Belgian Malinois or something, but he's not. But he thinks he is. But he will fit under the seat in a sort of a carry-on thing, and I would consider that way more than I would having him under the, in the hold, because I think that'd be too stressful for him to be away from us, all these crazy sounds and the temperature and stuff. I wouldn't personally do that to Mr. Wookums. So, but now since we've been here, we've realised that we can potentially get him out there with me, and if I go back and pick him up and bring him back out here, he can come in the cabin with us. So that's sort of raised a question here. The landlord here at the apartment is fine with it, so it's something that if we're going to be out here for, I mean, we've been a month already, but if it's going to be, between 8 months and a year here, then I think we will probably eventually bring Mr. Wookums out. So getting him here is easy, really. I can just go to the UK, short flight to Amsterdam, 1 hour. He can be in the cabin with me, and then we can do I think it's about, from there it's about 10 hours. So he can come in the cabin with me 10 hours, then he's here. Then it's really a straightforward process. Mexico love dogs. They make it really easy to bring dogs here, like crazily easy. And I think they don't really ask for very much. They just need a little bit of paperwork, that's about it. So Mr. Wookums could get here very easily, from what I know. Getting him home is going to be a little bit of a trickier scenario. So that's why we don't want to bring him here and then have to take him straight back home. It's going to be too stressful. So yeah, so basically the UK is really weird with bringing dogs back in. You can't bring them back in the cabin. So what I would need to do is fly back to Amsterdam and find a way of getting back to the UK without using an aeroplane. So be I don't know, like a ferry. Can you get a ferry from Amsterdam to the UK? I don't even know. Maybe get a dinghy or a pump up boat or something, and get across to the UK. I don't know. Or maybe somehow we can get to France and do a Euro tunnel or something. I don't know. Either way, it's harder to get him back. So I don't want to get him out here and then have to go straight back. But if we decide that we're going to stay for a longer number of months, because we got the apartment for a year. We've signed a year lease, so maybe it'll be worth it. And I'll have to do some kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll live stream the whole the whole way back. If I can get Wi-Fi on the plane, I'll live stream the whole journey, or maybe I'll just from Amsterdam, and maybe you guys can see how I can get back. Who knows? But anyway, with someone said Eurostar train. Yeah, JJ, yeah. So maybe the Eurostar train might be the best idea. Fly back to Amsterdam and then somehow make my way to. It'd be like a really cool adventure, I think. So, yeah. If I'm flying back with the family, they can go straight back to the UK, and I'll have to detour with Mr. Wookums on a crazy live streamed road trip around Amsterdam all the way back to the UK. Anyway, it's possible, which makes it a bit harder. It's like a floating asylum, but it definitely is at the moment. That's for another video. I don't want to get banned on YouTube, so I can't talk about some of that stuff. But anyway, guys, we've done over an hour now, and I've had an absolute blast. Thank you for everyone for commenting, for liking. Thanks to those who jumped in and joined the membership. Appreciate that as well. I've got loads of stuff coming. I'm absolutely pumped for the next sort of month. I've got a live stream with Peter the Arborist on Thursday. I'm going to be setting up a schedule, getting some of you guys on as well. Wookums Express. I've just seen the comment. Yes, the Wookums Express. That's what I'm going to call the live stream. but I've had a ton of fun. I've got loads of stuff coming, So I've got some members only stuff coming as well, as I said before, which I'm going to be talking about some really interesting stuff that I can't talk about, you know, publicly too much on YouTube. So stay tuned for that. And I've got some comments I want to take care of. Take care. Look forward to the next one. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate that. You and LCM are absolute legends, and it's great to have you on the stream. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you too, LCM. Really means a lot. And I really enjoyed doing these impromptu live streams. So if you guys enjoyed the live stream just from out here in Mexico City, we can do some where we walk around a bit more. If I've got a bit more time, we can do a little bit of a tour around this area, and I'll show you some of the cool places. But thank you everyone for joining, guys. You know, if like the stream before you leave, help share it and let everyone know that Millionz is in the house. And I appreciate it all. I hope you have an amazing day, whatever you're doing. I love you all long time, and I'll see you all in the next live stream.